shot down the aircraft with a surface-to-air missile.
Russia launched a barrage of missile attacks against Ukraine overnight in strikes that appeared to target the country's energy infrastructure.
Russia said its air defense systems had intercepted more than 60 Ukrainian drones.
Students protesting the Israel-Hamas conflict at universities across the U.S. vowed to keep their demonstrations going despite ongoing clashes with law enforcement.
Early Saturday, police began clearing out a pro-Palestinian student encampment on the campus of Northeastern University in Boston.
Residents began sifting through the debris after a tornado plowed through suburban Omaha, Nebraska, demolishing homes and businesses as it moved for miles through farmland and into subdivisions.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact. Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
Damn good coffee and hot.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with a Dog. You make me laugh.
I don't really. So we have to. By the
Oh, morning, you. Oh, I was just talking to Instagram over there. That's I don't think I'm going to do that as a habit. But I just wanted to let those people know that they can find us over here, wherever here is for you right now in this place. It is Monday, your favorite day of the week, April 29th, 2024. Listen, it's a beautiful day here, and it's only going to get better. I wish I could do this show from outside, and I've been thinking about how could make that happen. Not today, but over the summer. I think maybe I'll be doing some shows from outside. It's too nice to be in the house. And if you're in the house right now or in a building right now, wherever you work, just tell the boss, I'm doing my job outside today. Now, maybe it's not so nice where you are. We did have some rough weather over the weekend in the middle of the country. Tornadoes. Here's the deal with these tornadoes, man. You see these videos of semi-trucks pulled over to the right, underneath the overpass or trying to pull into a gully or something, trying to be safe. And then the guy shooting the video is driving directly at the storm. Like, I don't care. I see what's happening. It's pulling up houses. It's pulling up tractor trailers. It's pulling up cows, whatever. I'm going to go right at it. Somehow that video makes it to social media. So I guess they're not dead. That's on the bright side. A lot of shit going on in politics this weekend. We're probably going to talk about some of it. I'm glad to see that Donald Trump has come out and attacked RFK Jr. I think that's a good thing because, listen, you're not in a race. You're not in a race until Trump actually gives you a really stupid, insulting name. And he really hasn't figured a good one out for RFK yet. He's just calling him Junior. Now, that's not going to stick. That's not going to stick. But he has attacked him 6 times this weekend, which is a good thing for RFK Jr. I think it's a good thing for the race. Listen, they do all these polls, but they don't include RFK Jr. in any of the polls. Now, no matter what you think about him or his chances in this, he's definitely getting some support, and that support should be reflected in the polls. What else is going on? Well, Christy Nome celebrated the weekend by just going to a kennel and just like mass shooting puppies or something. Listen, I keep saying listen, like you're not listening. Are you listening? If you are the kind of person who brags about shooting a puppy in the head because the dog wouldn't hunt and would rather chase birds and play with birds, you're just an evil. You are Satan walking around inside a human body. And that's what Christy Nome seems to be. In case you're wondering, we don't have a guest today. We only have one guest booked for the entire week, which is tomorrow, and author Leah Chaitin. I had a great guest booked for Wednesday, but she's traveling internationally and needs to reschedule. We're going to be talking about the psychology of your sexual fantasies. Now, I think I know the psychology of my sexual fantasies, but I'm still eager to talk about it and just hear dirty words and because it's good for ratings, and that's really all I care about. Speaking of rating, Howard Stern interviewed Joe Biden. I think Friday, might have been Thursday, and we just didn't hear about it until Friday. And the people in MAGA world are insane. And listen, most of my Howard Stern fan friends are MAGA. Now, they're not so much on the Stern bandwagon anymore since he has changed who he is. He's grown up a lot. He's changed. A lot of stuff happened to him with therapy or whatever he's going through. But that woman who has taken hold of his career, and I don't know her name, has changed him. But I saw somebody with 129 followers, somebody on Twitter who has 129 followers, calling Howard Stern a washed up broadcaster. Let's just keep things in perspective here. Howard Stern gets paid $30 million a year to work 3 days a week and takes like practically the whole summer off. He gets to interview anybody he wants. The most powerful and influential people on the planet still are eager to talk to him. And you have 129 followers, and you're calling him washed up. I'll take that washed up. I take that washed up in a second. Now, I'm not a fan of Stern. I've never been a fan of Stern, but you got to be realistic on what you're talking about. This guy is not yesterday's news. He's still relevant, maybe not as relevant as he was, and he's certainly not funny. The days of the whack pack and the people being funny for him are long gone. But he's still, $30 million a year to work 3 days a week and talk to the most influential people in the world, and often do it from home. I think you take that. I'd take that. Anyway, speaking of influential people, I'm going to bring some in right now. Let me just change the background here. Let's start with the man with the cup, and then the man with the chair, and then the man with the different background. He's got like
angry office people.
Yeah.
Good morning, gentlemen. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, and I hope it's as beautiful where you are as it is where I am right now.
Such a good weekend. Beautiful day. Man, I swear to God, Randy, I'll tell you to your face, man, I can't get much happier.
Really? That's nice. You're going to break your face with that smile. Ouch! GD, would you like to point at a cup, or are we just getting ready to just...
Good morning, America. MindDogTV.com. Are you running out of causes? Go to MindDogTV.com because we want you to buy our stuff.
Right.
Good quality stuff, like this musical mug and this collapsible mug. It comes in pieces. Only available Mind Dog TV, or if you drop them in my minddogtv.com. Enjoy the
Now,
suffering.
I just want to say that none of
And the
the
music.
merchandise comes with a warranty, guarantee of improper use. You have to be able to actually put it on the desk and not in midair and just drop it. Ron, you peeing?
Yes.
Why were you so tortured by that? You seem that like like dreading listening to GD talk about merchandise, which is like
Well, just like that cup, it all fell apart. It all fell.
true. Do you guys kill
technically the cup didn't fall apart, it was forced apart.
That's okay.
Did you guys kill puppies over the weekend? Anybody?
No, Christy Nome
I killed
came
an
to my
entire
house.
audience, but that was it.
Christy Nome came to my house for coffee, and that's what happened to the mugs.
I invited her on a hike, and now I'm in a wheelchair. Fuck.
Yeah, she's bragging, and she thinks this is going to score her point, and it might score her points with Trump. Like, look how
that's a level I would rather hang out with somebody who's murdered a person before I'd hang out with somebody that would like murder puppies and kids.
Well,
that's a
you're
whole nother level of
people who murder people.
That's right, Stephen. You're talking about murdering kids. We didn't even talk about the kid yet. And she didn't even do it in one shot. It took her multiple shots to kill that kid.
Well, she's a bad shot. So
yeah, she had to go reload. And left the kid just suffering.
Amateur.
Well, it's like serial killing. You got to start with something small, like a puppy. Then next week she'll be doing her, volunteering to do abortions for people.
It's true. I was watching How to Make a Murderer, and they all start with animals.
Oh,
yep, it's common thread. Thread.
Yeah,
causality right there.
That's
I think that Trump would pick her only because, well, no, that wouldn't make sense. Because Mike Pence, he sicked his sycophants on him, and Mike Pence went and ducked and covered. And it sounds like Kristi Noem would shoot his sycophants. So
well, Trump, I don't know. Trump would probably try to grab her by the pussy, but it's probably got teeth. So I don't know if he would put her on the campaign for that. So
she said she hated that dog. Like, how could you hate a puppy? First of all,
so fucked up.
It wanted to chase birds rather than hunt. It sounds like I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but you got to have a really evil heart to just hate a dog that just likes playing with the birds. I don't know. It's really astonishing, but it is what it is. And people in South Dakota obviously think she's it. They keep voting for her. She's been.
She's in South Dakota. I'll go interview her when I go out to do my show.
Well, you're going to Sioux Falls, Iowa, Sioux City, Iowa, not Sioux Falls, South Dakota, right? Am I wrong?
I'll be June 8th. I'll be in South Dakota, side of Sioux Falls. Yeah.
Wear your Kevlar vest.
Well, the good news is if she doesn't kill me, I'm well prepared for the other repercussions of being shot. So
now you were happy and smiling from the start of the morning because of the weekend. What did you do? I know you had a show Friday night. What did you have?
It was just a good weekend, man. It was beautiful outside. The weather made driving nice. Was able to keep the windows down, turn the music up. We sold out the show. We had over 110 people show up. Luckily, the last two that showed up were in wheelchairs because we were out of chairs. So it was a good show, and it was the album recording. It went fucking perfect for everything, and then we hung out, afterwards and did our thing, and then got some things in the works starting yesterday that I can't go into details yet, but it'll be pretty cool. So
showbiz stuff we don't want to talk about. Because so many lives could be endangered if we reveal top secret.
Well, I can't become a serial killer and travel through multiple states if, I give out all the details ahead of time. So,
now this,
like Garth Brooks.
Scott Zank's album. There's no video. Was it just audio recording?
No, there's audio and video. It will actually be available soon on his OnlyFans, onlyfans.com/bigbeardedcomedian.
I'm not getting on his OnlyFans. I'm not going on anybody's OnlyFans ever.
Actually, in his defense, he got OnlyFans when it first came out, when it was originally artists and comics and everything. And there's only 2 dick pics on there, but they're so small you won't even notice them.
Is that
Are they
because
small because they're shot from far away, or are they close-ups and they're just
exactly?
Well, he's
Like,
white, so and he's from Michigan. So
hey,
look? Well,
hey, I'm white. I could smack you in the face with my cock from here.
don't think we're really good time. I'm at that level. But anyways, I don't think pecker slapping is polite. So back to you, Matt.
Oh yeah, no, definitely isn't. Well, I played a wedding on what was it, Saturday, and I have known the groom and his brother, who was the best man, for 60 years. And
Damn.
while I was setting up, yeah, I know that's a long time. While I was setting up, the groom spotted me and made a beeline for me, and wanted to talk about Trump, like as I'm setting up.
Oh no.
And I'm like, there's a difference. That's radio, Matt. This is music, Matt. Music, Matt
Right.
doesn't talk about Trump, but he was insisting on talking about how Trump's being done wrong, how the whole world is out to get him. He's such a good guy. He never lies about anything. He always tells the truth about everything. This guy's a lawyer. So you can't
getting disbarred soon.
You can't pass the bar by being a total idiot. But listen, I don't care. I keep saying listen. It's one of these days where I'm concerned people aren't listening.
Huh?
Yeah. I don't care how much you're an ideologue and believe in whatever that is. You got to know this guy's not he doesn't ever lie. He never lies. This is John Barron, who calls up and says he's dating Madonna to the I mean, the amount of like he doesn't ever not lie. And for somebody to say, well, he never lies, he always tells the truth, it's just like, wait a minute. We definitely live in two alternate realities. And mine, all I hear is lies out of the guy.
It's like when a first date shows up to a comedy show. It gets
Oh yeah.
'cause, I had that on Friday night. My show at Fratelli's. We had a pretty good turnout for late April, and considering how warm it was out Friday night, we had a great turnout. But there was a couple that showed up, and they didn't realize comedy was happening, and they were there for their first date.
Wait, so Fratelli's is like a restaurant where they just happen to have comedy, and people aren't paying to actually see comedy. They're coming in, whatever might be there. Is that
Yeah, it's a bar restaurant, and we do a monthly show there. So most people that come out for the show, they know it's there, obviously. But then, of course, we always get those stragglers that come in that aren't prepared. But yeah, it was great. They were a little chatty at first. Then I had to do some Parkinson's jokes to calm them down.
Well, that's the problem. Like I think if you're on a first date, you want to talk. You want to get to know the person. You don't want to just listen to somebody else. Yeah, let's go out and listen to somebody else. The very first time we meet, let's not even say a word to each other. We'll listen to that guy talk.
But it's better. I think what Ron is getting to, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ron. If I make a mistake, let me know. That if they're talking, they're probably lying to each other.
That's
true. If they're listening to the comedy, their laughter will reveal their actual personality. What they're laughing at.
You have a jaded.
That's true.
Humanity. That they're lying. You just assume they're lying to each other. That's
Plus,
very jaded.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus, you got to make sure they don't have an annoying laugh.
First date conversation.
Yeah. I like to go into like the scary marriage stories when I know there's dates in the room. Like let me show you all where this is gonna go if tonight goes well. That's always fun. I like to see the faces drop, or I'll bring up something that a guy's thinking about on a first date and just watch the guys turn really red really quick while the chicks look at him. Oh yeah, that's always great.
Yeah, they tried. Like I said, they tried ignoring us at first, and that didn't work. Yeah, that didn't work well. But they were actually pretty good, considering how the comics were to them. The comics were actually fairly nice. But hey, I'm just glad they, were there for it. Change their mind, because some people can just be dicks and blah blah blah. And
Well,
here's
I have
here's
seen.
the picture of Fratelli's. This is the couple that was on the first date.
Wow. Can we get
Oh
them
yeah,
on?
I definitely would have went after them.
They'd like to be on the show this morning. We have no guest. I'd like to touch on something you said. You said because it was so warm out, it's good that there were people there because it's warm out. And 'cause I had a conversation with some, not the headliners, but the features and host and opener at Govs about summertime and what happens to comedy, and they were like, "Nah, it's good all year round." I was like, "I don't know, man. Summertime, I don't want to be in a comedy club, and especially here on Long Island, it's a beachy area. There's entertainment happening on all the beaches. Why would I want to be in a club? Does comedy suffer seasonally?"
Yeah, and in the Northeast it does, because people have been pent up all winter and they want to get out. So when the weather starts warming up, people have cookouts, they do fires, and people,
Maybe like LA, where it's nice all year round. They don't. They probably want to go inside where it's air conditioned.
Yeah, I'll say around here it doesn't seem to fall off nearly as bad in what I would like what you'd call the off season.
All you got is cornfields, right?
Exactly. That's the thing
You
here.
either
Well,
go
like
to a comedy show or go to the cornfield. Now, if you're young, you might want to go to the cornfield. It's like it's paradise by the dashboard light.
go out to the holler, man, and have a bonfire, man. Get the moonshine, get the girls going, man. Yeah, that's super redneck, and that's what happens. But no, I think around here a lot of times what happens is they make it part of the night. They'll go to the show, they'll go to like the early show, then they will spend the rest of the night walking around downtown and getting drinks. So, but that's around here though. So like usually like around year round, generally people will show out. So
I think the problem with these guys from Governors was they're not locals, and they're traveling people, and they're probably giving me this perspective on all of the United States. But here on Long Island, it definitely is. It's seasonal. Nobody wants to be in, and music clubs. Everything suffers, but not April. I think probably June or late May to early September is when you get that, and then
I can see that. Yeah, for sure.
Now, this wedding I played was a wedding for the books. Now, I kind of talk about even how a bad gig is better than any other anything. It's like better than a real job. So there's no reason to complain. But as far as weddings, it was one of the creepiest, weirdest weddings I've ever played. First of all, the groom was 68 years old. I think the bride is equally 68 to 70 years old, somewhere in there. And there were no young people at this wedding. And the room was really weird. It was like segmented off so you couldn't see half the thing. Half the room was over here. We were playing to a table right in front of the band, and then there was nobody in front of us. We couldn't see those people. And then around the corner was the bar, and it was a sunken bar. So if you were standing at the bar, well, Stephen, sorry about this. But if I'm standing at the bar comes up to my knees. The guy's sitting in the pit, but it's like you're bending over to pay a child for a drink, whatever. But it was just like I don't know if you remember the movie The Deer Hunter, but it was just a creepy wedding like that.
Now I have a question then. Does your singer have a wireless mic? I mean, could he have like walked around and sang to people around the corner?
The problem is when you walk around, he often does this, but in like a place like this, he walks around the corner into the bar. Now he can't. The PA, the speakers aren't set up in the bar, so in order to hear himself going through the PA system, he starts yelling. I'm in front of the PA speakers, and all I'm hearing, "Hey everybody!" It's like, oh, calm down, man. But he moves around. He's got wireless. He's been doing like when we played Freeport's Nautical Mile. He used to go out in the middle of the street and drag people in, like stop cars and tell people to go in. But in a place like that, it's just really it was not an ideal wedding. But you know what? Again, at the end of the day, it's so much better than having a real life and a real a job that there's no complaining. So
retirement home wedding.
the North Fork of Eastern Long Island. All I could think of is because it's one road. It's like a one lane each way road all the way out to where Orient Point is. It's like it's facing England. And you're passing all these little like motels that are on the water side. And all I kept thinking is these motels are filled with guys who came to commit suicide. This is a perfect place to commit suicide. If you're gonna go to off yourself, you want to go out into these seaside motels in the middle of nowhere. They just look like they should market it that way. Come to off yourself, we'll take 50% off your bill, or no cleanup fee, or something like that. It's just
I'd say no cleanup fee if you do it in the bathtub at least, just so you can hose it out.
You know what? You're a very courteous person.
I always said if I was gonna do it, I would not leave a mess for anyone.
If they have designated rooms, they could be Scotch guarded so that those rooms just with a
you can ask for the express room, which is just like a big empty room.
You do it by gunplay, right?
Oh no.
Because you
not at all.
You just take pills and just like die in bed, and no.
No, I'm bringing some friends, and we're gonna go out having fun. We're gonna get some hookers and blow and some ropes and all sorts of stuff. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, they should have like a little courtesy bar, like one of the refrigerators, and your poison of choice right there. You open it up, and whatever you want right there. Fentanyl, sodium pentothal, whatever it is that you need, right there.
BBH, maybe some.
No, I'm getting harassed on Facebook direct messages. This person, Little Elf TW.
Okay, yeah.
You know them?
No.
I didn't think you would know them.
It sounded like a name you might know, though. Kind of sounds like a rapper or something.
How do you know that's okay? That's okay. Yeah, I might have gotten it completely wrong. Anyway, they approached me about doing videos, short videos. We'll pay you $50 to just say you watch our TikTok channel, and they keep sending me, and I'm like, I'm not interested. And every day now, at this time of day, they approach me. Would you like to make $50 just for making a short video? Here's one that somebody made. They've already got paid for it. I'm like, I don't want it. I don't, but what's the catch?
They're gonna stick your voice and face to AI and start using it to make threats and stuff.
I already do that on my own. They could just grab one of the ones that I have. I mean,
that's true. That is true.
Yeah. What is? I mean, I've seen a lot of cons. I don't get. Can you got any idea?
I wonder.
Well, right now you're talking about their account for free. You just haven't mentioned it, so that's the good thing.
Right. Well, I wonder too if they were thinking you would fall for it and then say, "Cool, give me your PayPal or your Cash App." And then when you send them that info, they take it, jump into it, take your money, and go. That'd be my guess.
I would jump into it. If I tell them this is my PayPal account,
all you need
PayPal account, you could get into it.
All you need is an email address, and from that, you just got to start trying to get into email accounts or whatever. And then once you get in there, you're good.
I think there's two-step authentication now, though. They have to
that stops it a lot.
And then you have to have my phone because they text you on the phone.
I had to turn two-step authentication on everything I have due to my previous comedy accounts all being hijacked.
Wow.
Yep.
And then
TikTok and everything.
That's the beauty of no one liking
me.
This
guy's got no fucking money. Why did I waste all my time breaking into a house that is empty?
Dude, people break into my house and they're like, here you go. You can have it.
Sorry.
My bad. You want me to bring some more? I think my buddy's in the car. He's got like $20.
I have a friend who ran a local newspaper, one of these like small town newspaper type of deals. It comes out once a week, that kind of stuff. It's mostly advertising and that kind of. On the front page of the paper, he was auctioning off a house. $100 for a auction ticket for this house, like a lottery. Like you put in $100.
Kind of smart.
Problem was, it wasn't his house. It was just a house that was for sale that he took a picture of. And I think he got like $100,000 from that, like just from people sending in their $100. And then when it came in, like nobody won. It's like and people will just send in money.
At least the Reverend actually had things that people could win. They just had to, that's a terrible scam. That's a terrible, terrible scam. I'm sorry.
This is Rick, who was the drummer with us. That was on Saturday night. Saturday afternoon, Saturday night. He said, compared to the thousands of weddings I've played, that one was one of the normal ones. I haven't played thousands of weddings, but I played definitely several hundred of them. I just thought it was just a very strange one. The band didn't play most of the time. He said what really made the night was Mike's phone alert. See, Mike was also DJing the wedding from his phone, and he had bad Bluetooth. And the music kept going off, but I would text his phone then, and then it would play like an alert that he got a text loud through the PA system. But to me, it was just, and I guess Rick has played some really crazy ones. I don't know. To me, it was just a very weird.
Wow, Ron, but you're on a first name basis with Jake. I haven't played with Jake. That's at least you're on a first name basis with him.
What am I?
I want a first name basis with everybody.
Jake Flores. You know what? I will almost reach out to Jake to see if he wanted to be on the show. He's a guy who likes to start shit on Twitter a little bit. I
don't know who he is, so I'm just gonna take your word for it.
I don't think you know who anybody is. Do you know any working comedians?
I know Ron.
I said working.
I know Ron's working.
Goofing off. He's here goofing off.
Wow.
Well, actually, he's on fun employment.
Yeah, fun employment.
Right? Yes, that's what I'm calling comedy from now on. Fun employment.
People know me because I did a comedy contest on Saturday. That's how people know me.
What was the contest?
It was just a competition. I have to say, it seemed like the most. It seemed fairer of most of them because you didn't have to bring anybody, which was nice. As comics, we could just show up and perform. And then they had like this panel of judges, which I don't know even where this. They introduced them and like what they do is like, all right, I guess so. Like the one guy was an actor, and he's in this streaming on this streaming movie. He's like, I guess so. I guess it's some small indie film that he did. Then one guy was part of this. He's part of this big music festival that happens, music conference festival that happens every year around the Harrisburg area. And then two other people, but I don't know what I have to do to win a contest if I have to like pet kittens or whatever. Yeah.
Yep. There it is.
But I had a fucking phenomenal set, and I didn't advance to the second round, which didn't make sense to me because like after the show, I had bunches of people come up to me and like, "Hey, you should have been in that second round." And I'm like, I know. The weirdest thing was though, there was two elderly women when I was leaving the venue. Like the one lady they were both in their 70s. The one lady's using a walker. And she's like, we really liked your material. You were really funny.
See, now this is the issue where you brought up the panel. They don't see, or especially from your description, they don't seem like anything qualifies them to judge comedy in any way. In the old days, and I'm sorry to be an old person, but this is who I am. In the old days, they used to judge comedy competitions or any kind of entertainment competition by audience reaction. This one, and then it's how loud is the audience applause. I think that's a much fairer way than putting supposed experts who are not even in comedy, they're in music or acting.
Yeah. I much prefer that over like the voting systems and the judges. The contest I did, same thing. The people that won, even people in the contest, even the people that ran the club were like, I don't know if those people should have went on. And it was because it was just they brought enough people to do a vote on their phone. And so, it was one of those things where audience participation is so much better, man. It just makes so much more sense. It's comedy. We're here for them.
Comedy.
Yeah.
I had designed a contest that I was going to do at a local club on a regular basis, and the reactions was actually based on the meters, actual reaction, not
meters. Like you're talking 1955. Arthur Godfrey's whatever
The laugh meter, the
audience
Yeah.
meter, desk meter.
But the comic who did ultimately win it, he definitely deserved to win it. He very funny guy, and I'm happy that he won.
Call him
But
up.
like,
Get him on here.
yeah, I will. Yeah, I will reach out to him. And like the second round though, the second round was not great at all. Like no one really did great. And when they got to the second round, I was just telling myself, it's like, well, you just need to just crown Andrew the winner because there's no reason to do this second round. It just embarrasses everybody. And it did because like I don't understand
which Andrew.
Pollock. Andrew Pollock.
Okay.
And yeah, the second sets, I'm not sure what happened to everybody. It was like the energy went way down. And like it was really weird.
Was there an intermission or anything?
Yeah, there was an intermission. So that didn't help either. That didn't help either. But
it sucks.
Yeah.
But with all that said, you know, I can't control the outcome, but a lot of good things will come from this. A lot of good things. I made some connections, and there's going to be more work. There's more work coming my way, and
oh yeah,
yeah. So
yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying, man. That's why I tell people all the time, dude. Yeah, the money's important, but sometimes you gotta go make those connections, man. You know?
Like,
every single gig you do, you gotta look at it as like an opportunity to also sell yourself for the next show. That's the
every time, every show I go, I've almost my last 5 or 6 shows, I've gotten additional work from them, and I do it. It's because I approach it the same way. I show up early, I mingle with the audience beforehand, meet the comics, and then afterwards, hang out again, say hi to everybody again, and the next thing you know, you're walking out with business cards and Facebooks and everything else.
Do you have business cards of your own printed up?
I did, but I do not. I have an app on my phone where I can just tap my phone to their phone and they get all my contact info.
That's pretty cool. I mean, but you know, people are always asking for cards and stuff. I don't know how many. There were one summer we gave away 5,000 cards. The guy who his wife was singing with us for a while, and he was just like a crazy person with the cards. Every time I'd give him like 500, they'd all go every show, and like it's just crazy. But you get calls eventually, even though it's not necessarily the next day, you definitely get called from that stuff. It's important to have that stuff. People won't remember. There are so many people I'm seeing now, discovering people on social media. I'm thinking, wow, this guy's really good. I want to remember him. If I don't, even though I follow him, if I don't save it, like, who the fuck was that guy? I don't remember his name, that kind of stuff. So, brand recognition, all that stuff.
Yep.
Hey,
that's where the stage name comes in handy, though.
Have you found out? Have you found that when you like I've found at a lot of audiences, like on my business card, I have a QR code on there that you can scan and things like that. But like around here, people still can't figure that out for some reason. Like that, it eludes people. Like even a link tree will confuse people. It's very strange. And I'm convinced there's really no good way to get your information. I mean, yeah, the business cards are nice, but then when you add the tech to it and scan, they're like, huh? Right. It surprises me.
Yeah. Those QR codes, those are always funny seeing old people try to figure out what to do.
Yeah, I do like the card move, and cards are so cheap to get. You can get like 250 cards for $7 from like Vistaprint. Good quality, thick card stock, good ink. Like they look really nice. It's so easy to do. I just want to contact them. Not a sponsor.
Let's talk a little bit about news here now. Howard Stern interviewed Biden. Biden said that he would debate Trump. Now Trump is saying anytime, any place. I don't think Biden is. I don't think I don't think the people who manage the president's schedule are going to let him do it. They'll find an excuse why you can't make it this day, you can't make it that day. I don't think there's any upside to him to act as a strategist. I would not engage in that. It's just like, let's getting in the mud. What do you think about that? Do you think there will be a presidential debate? And the other part of that, and I have a feeling I know the answer to this, at least from two of you. Do you think that RFK Jr. belongs if they have
So,
a debate?
all right. So as far as will there be a debate? I think there's going to have to be. Do I think the Biden group want it to happen? No, I don't think him debating anyone's going to work out good for him because he can barely navigate an empty stage. He's not going to be able to navigate like multi-step questions or anything. I don't see it happening. And as far as RFQ being involved, 1,000% he should be. I think anyone who is on the ballot on any state as a president outside of I mean, realistically, they all should, but the major ones, if you're with a party, you should be involved. You should be in the debate. Whether it's Green Party, Libertarian, fucking Socialist Party, whatever.
I don't think we need to be
talk.
Or Jill Stein or any. Do we need
Listen,
to hear?
I agree, but they
want Marianne Williamson on the stage to talk about tarot cards and.
I don't know. It might be more interesting sometimes. I don't know.
What do you guys think? Do you think there will be a debate? And if so, do you think RFQ belongs?
There will be a debate. I know I read like 3 weeks ago that like all the major news corporations got together and they teamed up and put that letter or statement out there demanding that they do a debate, and because they want that. But I really think the advantage is to Biden, because sure, Biden, he's older, he's going to talk slower, but everyone knows all Trump is going to do is just going to seem like coming out there like I'm high on Adderall, just yelling the same old shit. And I think that's actually plays to Biden's advantage, because if you're in a debate like that, let the psycho, let him run loose, embarrass himself, because he will. And, maybe it'll be in the form of a shart. We can only hope.
All right.
Well,
Brownface, anything to say about this? Oh, he doesn't know his name is Frownface now. Let me tries patience. Do you have anything to say about this?
It depends on who's doing it, how the debate is arranged, or deranged, because the last time the two of them debated, the country, I think, was less informed by Trump's appearance, no preparation whatsoever, and so I would like there to be a real debate where actual issues and policies are discussed.
Well, let's talk about that, because I did put out a reel. Remember Friday? You guys remember Friday? I know it's a long time ago.
It was a while ago.
Mike Shavola, who is a avid Trump guy, was on the program with us, and when he said
that was Friday, okay,
I support every president because once they're elected, because I'm an American, blah 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 blah. Except Biden, I can't go with it. What Biden policy have changed your mind? I don't read his policies. So you're talking about, let's get into policy. They don't care about policies. It's all about
that's exactly why I disagree with what was said about the debates, because Mike is very much a snapshot of most voters. It's not policy. It's stage presence. It's the energy. It's what they bring to the show.
How you've been prepared by what you watch, the media. He admitted, I watch mostly Fox News, and what was the other one?
Exactly. So
and
with him
don't
being
start paying attention until they see the debates.
I'm
just saying that there's sometimes, it's like a comedy show. Okay, not everybody is going to like the same jokes or engage the same way. Debates, politics, it's all the same way. You have different ways of engaging. Those people who need information, who want information, who are waiting for the debates to see them side by side, those people should have an opportunity to be to see that.
It's going to be very much. It's going to be very much format dependent. Is going to really determine how this thing turns out.
Yes,
because if it's just willy nilly, he's gonna win it just based off overpowering energy and not shutting the fuck up and saying whatever he wants. And Fox News is gonna make him look like a superhero because he dominated the debate or whatever. If it's question based, and I doubt they'll get the questions up front, but they'll probably make a guess at it. Biden will probably have a list of answers. He'll probably do okay, and he might actually look better. But the problem is when you have the voters, again, like Mike, who are just very much into the personality is what they're voting for, still might just end up going Trump's way because he's just so obnoxious and loud and just overbearing.
It didn't go his way the first time they debated, and Trump was loud and obnoxious then also. So that doesn't always.
And he dominated the headlines for the next 3 weeks, and the numbers showed it. That's just what happened.
That's a different time, and they do get the questions ahead of time. But the problem,
I don't know if they get the questions or the topics. It depends on how it's run.
Yeah, but the biggest thing is we already have all the data on Trump, and I get what you're saying, Stephen. But at the same time, that is a very thin line to walk, because especially with somebody that's in desperation mode, like with Trump, because he needs power, because he's got all these trials and things like that. And so I think that does play to Biden's advantage, just because the other guy on the other side is one moment away from becoming unhinged. And
we also have
on the Fox narrative, they'll say, yeah, this is great. But I think when normal people watch this, they'll say, why are we watching this elderly man who's probably suffering from an Adderall problem because he's got the snortsies the entire time?
But we also have taken into consideration I think is a pretty obvious right swing in the nation right now. Everyone seems to be a little more conservative sounding,
I think America has made a hard right turn.
That's what I'm saying, and so I think that's going to play into it.
Or they come at me but because in my day, back again, I'm an old man, but in the time I was brought up, and almost everybody in comedy was kind of at least left leaning. Now, almost it's very rare to see a comedian who is left leaning at all. They've all kind of geared hard right, went hard right. But back to the question: do you think RFQ belongs in the debate? And you think first, does he belong in your opinion, and then will they let him on that? Now, I think Stephen's already kind of given his view on that, but you guys want to weigh in on that? RFQ in the debates.
Well, Ron knows RFQ better than anybody, so maybe Ron could channel him and ask him. Does he? But no, just
I didn't even know if he knew. Do you think he belongs?
I honestly don't know. I honestly do not know.
Want to get that? One of you guys get that? Hello, you're on the air with the dog. Who are we talking to?
This is Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Oh, well, obviously, I think you belong in the debate.
I obviously do belong, just because my family hates me and most people hate me, and the only stance I really have is about anti-vax and working out.
All right. Well, now all the polls that are coming out reflect, no matter which poll you look at and how slanted it is, it's just Biden and Trump numbers, and then undecided. They're not including you in that. Where are your numbers? Do you have what percentage of America is really behind you now? Because on my Twitter, I see nothing but Hollywood elites really getting behind you. Where is your base?
I want to say those numbers are done by the mainstream media that is not covering me, and no one really cares about numbers anyway.
The poll numbers that I saw showed that RF Kennedy was 11%, but again, the polls are all depending on the polls as well, so I'm just going to take the average. Around 11%. most of his support was coming from people between ages of 25 to 39 or something like that, that kind of range. The youths. Most of his support was coming from the youths. So
I gotta. For me, the only poll that I care about is the one that I'm giving to Cheryl Hines every night. That's the most important poll to remember.
You're not
That
giving
thing is solid like the California redwoods. Let me
You're not-
show it to you.
You're not also giving it to that Shanahan.
She makes me wear a dog suit. She owns me.
You're kneeling mate. Most people have a running mate. You have a kneeling mate.
No, I mean, she's there, but she calls all the shots. She's got all the money. So I do what she says.
This is puzzling to me. I mean, you got this voice thing going on. It sounds like you swallowed a cock. Meanwhile, you're like banging women left and right. You've got a history of all this womanizing. And honestly, I'm a little jealous about that.
Honestly, man, have you seen my body? I mean, have you seen
the abs? I say I often refer to you as Alex Jones with abs. Yes,
yeah, I'm in the gym at least 2 to 3 hours a day. Then
but
I got
to put up with your cock in the throat sounding voice.
Because that's why I hit it from the back, so they can't see my face or hear my voice. Because when I come, it's scary. It's so scary.
Mr. Kennedy, what do you have to say about the allegations of you being caught snorting lines of creatine off of photos of Donald Trump's asshole?
I gotta say, that's bullshit.
Okay, I just wanted to make
picture.
sure.
I just love creatine, man.
Now, real quick, Matt, go ahead and roll the video here we have of him doing the lines.
That is the way it goes with him, pretty much.
I know.
That's a big problem with him too. But the idea that he always says, "Well, I never said that," and then they play the tape, and here's the tape of you saying that. I don't know about Trump's ass. Now,
Sorry, I've been in the bathroom this entire time. That creatine from this morning is just flowing right through me.
I heard that first bump's a hell of a thing, man.
Now, Donald Trump made a strategic decision to go after RFK this weekend. He hadn't. He'd been laying off him. He'd just been going strictly off of Biden. That signals to me that he sees RFK as a threat. Do you agree with that or not?
Everyone should see me as a threat. You've seen my body. You know how much I can bench press. I can bench press Trump and Biden together.
I think knowing how Trump kind of presents himself and how he thinks of himself as more of a celebrity than anything, I think he's noticing Hollywood's pretty hard boner for RFK, and I think he sees him as a threat. I think he really does.
That's probably true. Being jealous of the attention from Hollywood.
Don't see me as a threat. See me as a love machine.
And the thing is, you even hear RFK being brought up on comedy podcasts now as people that they're gonna as someone they're gonna vote for. I mean, he's literally popping up everywhere in entertainment across the board. I'm sure it's driving Trump fucking bonkers.
Plus, my name gets brought up on all the usual podcasts. I mean, honestly, if anyone's listening to a lot of those people for political advice, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, and also you see a lot of conservative pundits coming out, not necessarily pundits. It's always difficult for me to say. Not necessarily endorsing Trump, RFQ, or saying they're going to vote for him. Sorry, I mean RFK Jr. I didn't mean to be insulting, even though I talked about you having cock in your throat and all that.
Shut up, bitch!
Was that a real thing? They're not coming out necessarily endorsing him, but they are giving positive interviews and positive reactions. Like Ben Shapiro had RFK. Now he's been he's always going to be a Republican guy, but he was very cordial and agreeing with RFK on a lot of things, and we're seeing more and more of that. So I don't think a lot of people can really pin him down. This is what we're seeing. He calls himself a classic liberal. Trump said he's a far left liberal, even farther than anybody else, even farther than Cornel West or Marianne Williamson, all these people. And people are having a hard time like nailing him down because the anti-vax people are 100% in agreement with his vax position, but then he's for other things like reparations, where conservatives want no part of that.
It also depends on, you can say you're for, let's say, reparations, but how you want to pay for reparations is a difference. Where does he think the money is going to come from for reparations? That's what I'd like to hear.
He doesn't give detail.
That's what I'm saying. You can say all kinds of crazy shit, or not necessarily crazy, but you can say all kinds of shit. You can say anything you want. You can say, I'm all for a woman's choice. It's okay. And then let's hear the devil in the details. Her choice what? Well, her choice to have the baby and put up for adoption, or her choice to have the baby and keep it, or her choice to have the baby and die trying. Yeah. I'm all for her those choices.
Yeah.
So,
as long as they're one of my choices, that's cool.
Right.
Well, first,
shitty.
First, I appreciate the support from Ben Shapiro, but let's be honest, that guy can't even please a woman. So why would anyone listen to him? I mean, yeah, you can look at my hot body, Ben, but you'll never know what the wet ass pussy is like.
Man, Dr. Dreidel's gonna come down hard on you, man. You better calm down over there.
Yeah.
And to answer GD's question, to pay for reparations, I have a donation jar at my house. So when people come over, they just throw money in it. Right now, Cheryl, how much money do we have in there? All right, we have $5 in there for reparations. That should almost cover it, right?
I think even your microphone is saying, I've had enough with that voice. Or at least to gain control on
You're gonna develop a polyp.
Yeah, some people. I'm sure that there's some people.
Bitch, I told you shut up.
I'm sure that some people, if they thought that he'd get both, to say, "Yeah, we're for reparations as well for Black people." And then when they ask him, "Well, how do you want to get the money for it?" and he go, "Well, we'll collect it from the Black people." So
I was gonna ask, do reparations count if it comes from like Black people taxes and stuff?
We're gonna make the Native Americans pay for it.
Now that I can get behind.
Take a second mortgage on the reservation.
Just remember, if you actually believe that reparations are going to happen, you are probably the same people that think that paying for everyone's college tuition is going to happen too.
Well, GD, would you be okay if we just took like a casino from an Indian and just gave it to you?
Not really.
Oh, yeah. We're trying to figure this out without having to actually pay anything. So hold on, we'll get back to you.
That's funny.
Now, I'd be fine if you just let me play for free, and whatever I win, I get to keep, and whatever I lose, I don't have to cover. That'd be nice.
This is America, sir.
I'm just saying, if we're going to talk about ridiculous shit, yeah, I'd like that. But I don't want to take something from someone else, per se.
I can fix reparations in 1 minute.
How?
Done by Robert Kennedy Jr.
Hell no!
Wow, what's that extra money in my pocket? Thanks, RFK.
You're welcome. Take that, Ben Shapiro, with your dry ass pussy.
What's this? And a pregnancy test. Wow, this is great. Thanks, RFK.
That looked like one of the Rev's collars. I just want to talk a minute about that, because somebody did on last week's Church of Last Resort. Somebody commented, "What kind of fake ass paper collar is that?" And I was like, "I think it's a business card turned around."
It is. It's a business. Well, it's not. No. Okay. First of all, it's not one I found. Just for the record. I don't know. Can that be read?
Yeah, Dr. Delio, special order white collars.
Yeah, they're right here.
There's nothing else on them. You have nothing on them at all. It's just all white.
So those are
my business card. What are you, Claude Rains?
Keep a priest in your pocket.
Now
they're not reusable.
Now those are his, and these are, what the hell is that?
But they're not reusable. I mean, I would think you'd need one. You don't need a box of them. You could just use the same one every.
No, you can't. You can probably get 3 uses out of it, because after a while it gets being in there. It sweats on one side, and it falls apart after a while, and it has to keep its shape. Otherwise, it'll stick up like this.
Now,
You
See,
guys
he can't use these. He can't use these.
You guys, catty corner. I can't even do this here.
Yes.
Steven and Ron, did you catch any of the Rev show on Sunday morning, or it's just
No, they didn't.
I'll be honest with you. I did not get to bed from Saturday night until 7 or 8 a.m.
What was your excuse last week or the week before? I said no.
I was at the hospital.
He's not insulted. He's not insulted.
And I'm up for that show.
He doesn't expect everybody to watch. That's not a problem.
I just want to say that I watched yesterday morning. Like I'm there every morning. I was there yesterday. But if you ask me what he said yesterday, I think he was talking for an hour. I mean, I remember the part where there was like a dick puppet.
The last 1 minute. The last minute of the show.
Here's the thing. The show started, and I've been having trouble with my sound card lately. So the show started, and I hit the intro, and I couldn't hear anything. There was no audio, and I started to panic. And I'm like, what do? I can't restart my computer, restart the soundboard. I got to wait until because I haven't fuck yeah coming up. I know I got a fuck yeah coming up. And now I'm trying to read his lips. And all I know is wait for the microphone to drop, and then I could hit the fuck yeah. And as soon as that happened, then I bailed and restarted the computer and all that stuff. I don't know what was said in but I come back on, and he's got this dick puppet pointing right at the camera, and that's awesome. And that was when I could hear. But then after that, I was like, "What the hell is he fucking talking about today?" I feel like the Rev mailed it in yesterday. That's what I feel like.
Actually, he didn't mail it in. It was kind of like semaphore. Because there was a lot of motion. There was a lot of motion in there.
I didn't go back and rewatch to see if there's any real worthy.
There is. I'm trying real hard to create some shorts. But,
all right. Well,
I'm not known for my brevity. That's the problem.
Yeah,
that's the other problem with shorts. Shorts are supposed to be short, and my shorts are long.
Top of the hour, we have to do news. I know you guys are going to take a break and not listen to the news, but I think there's some news worth listening to in the news. Alan Edwards is here with the news. Now, I'm wondering if Alan's got to take a week off eventually, who's going to do the news when he does get a vacation time? Probably got to have a sub, but right now it's time for Alan Edwards and news.
Residents began sifting through the debris after a tornado plowed through suburban Omaha, Nebraska, demolishing homes and businesses as it moved for miles through farmland and into subdivisions, then slamming an Iowa town.
The tornadoes wreaked havoc in the Midwest, causing a building to collapse with dozens of people inside and destroying and damaging hundreds of homes. There have been several injuries reported, but no fatalities. Kyle Norris reporting.
Students protesting the Israel-Hamas conflict at universities across the U.S. vowed to keep their demonstrations going despite ongoing clashes with law enforcement.
Early Saturday, police began clearing out a pro-Palestinian student encampment on the campus of Northeastern University in Boston. The school said the demonstration, which began 2 days ago, had become infiltrated by individuals not affiliated with the university, with no connection to the school. Jessica Oakley reporting.
Russia launched a barrage of missile attacks against Ukraine overnight in strikes that appeared to target the country's energy infrastructure.
Russia said its air defense systems had intercepted more than 60 Ukrainian drones over the southern Krasnodar region. Ukraine's Air Force said that Russia had launched 34 missiles against Ukraine overnight, of which 21 had been shot down by Ukrainian air defenses. Benjamin Wright reporting.
Yemen's Houthi rebels on Saturday claimed shooting down another of the U.S. military's MQ-9 Reaper drones, airing footage of parts that resembled components of the unmanned aircraft.
The Houthis said they shot down the aircraft with a surface-to-air missile, part of a renewed series of assaults this week by the rebels after a relative lull in their pressure campaign over the Israel-Hamas conflict in the Gaza Strip. Joseph Eckerson reporting.
This is the latest news headlines.
The United Auto Workers Union announced it reached a last-minute tentative agreement with truck and bus manufacturer Daimler Truck, averting a potential strike of more than 7,000 workers.
The union struck a 4-year agreement with the German company on Friday evening, just before the expiration of the previous contract, which was enacted 6 years ago. It covers workers at various plants in North Carolina. Jim Kender reporting.
A 14-year-old Florida boy told police he accidentally shot and killed his 11-year-old brother after finding a gun in an alley near their home, authorities said.
St. Petersburg police responded to the family's home shortly after noon on Friday and found Amir Williams suffering from a gunshot wound, according to a police news release. The boy died at the scene. Amir was home with his older brother and 13-year-old sister, police said. The children's mother wasn't present at the time. Kevin Sanders reporting.
6 people were shot outside a nightclub in the nation's capital, police said.
The shootings happened Friday around 11:30 p.m. in the DuPont Circle neighborhood of Washington. Metropolitan Police Department Assistant Chief Ramey Kyle said officers were called after a dispute started inside the nightclub and spilled into the street. The 6 people who were shot sustained non-life-threatening injuries, police said. Lawrence Keller reporting.
Lawyers for Sean Diddy Combs pushed back against a woman's lawsuit that accused him of sexual misconduct, filing a motion on Friday to dismiss some claims.
The motion filed in a New York court claims Combs cannot be sued because certain laws didn't exist when Joey Dickerson Deal made the allegations against him in 1991. The music mogul's lawyers want certain statutes from Dickerson Deal's claims, such as revenge porn and human trafficking, to be dismissed with prejudice. Paul Gomez reporting.
And that's the latest news headlines with Alan Edwards.
What the fuck? It wasn't illegal to rape her when I raped her, so...
Yeah, no, what the kind of bullshit-ass loophole is that? Like, what?
Well, depending on the charges...
Fucking asinine.
But it's precedent. That is precedent. You can't be charged, I guess, depending on the jurisdiction, for crimes that there was no law against at the time. If you committed a crime and there was not a law against it at the time. So like in this case, it's talking about revenge porn. There was no law against revenge porn at that time. So you could do it. Or like people who stalked before there were anti-stalking laws. You couldn't get them for stalking.
Well,
I mean, I guess I could understand that, but I think once it crosses the threshold of physical assault.
But that's a different crime. That would be a different.
But I'm saying, rape is still a physical assault. It's a sexual assault, but it's still a physical assault.
Then they'd have to charge him with. Then they'd have to charge him with that. If that's the issue, if that's the charge they're talking about. But I don't know when rape, except for maybe in the 50s, when rape was not rape.
You know? Well, I think rape was rape, but only if it was like interracial or
yeah,
or if somebody was like gang raped. Outside of that, I don't think you really heard too much about it.
Now we've complained about. I've complained about this a number of times. This news stuff, we get headlines. Really, I mean, this 14-year-old boy who found a gun and shot his brother to death. Don't you want to know more about like where that's going? Is the kid going to be charged? He should be charged with something, right? But the parents need to be charged. It's a very weird kind of thing. Like, who's going to get charged and with what? Does the kid get charged with manslaughter, accidental homicide?
I think it'll be determined. Like, I guess it depends on how he shot him. Like, if he thought it was a toy gun and it was one shot, or if he unloaded a whole clip. I think
Yeah.
That would be the biggest thing.
Or if they both thought they found the gun and they were struggling over it, like, I found it. No, I found it. You give it here. You know,
right?
We don't know, but
one shot versus several.
Yeah, it's like, see, it's mine.
Parents need to be charged with something like negligence or something for just leaving a loaded gun in a place where an 11-year-old and a 14-year-old could get their hands on it.
But
they said it was in an alley.
Yeah, they said in an alley. So I mean, it could just as easily have been like a throwaway gun, like some police officer threw, and when they did the crime scene, they didn't pick up the gun. They forgot to pick up the gun. Or maybe somebody was running from the police or running and they just dropped out their pants, because you know how some people wear their pants down beneath the crack line. And how's that going to hold a gun? Your butt cheeks are pushing the gun up while you're other butt cheek is pushing your pants down, the gun is bound to fall out.
Right.
There was a guy here who was riding a motorcycle and his gun fell out of his pants and landed in someone's front yard. It was on the news. They found it. They found like a 45 in their front yard and they're like, "What the hell is this?" It just said their camera caught it and it fell off a guy's hip on his motorcycle. So, I mean, it could have easily have been something like that even. So
There's a billboard by this one bar in York, and it always makes me laugh because it's this little kid, and it's like, "Where is Daddy's gun?" And it says this little kid, like with this look on his face, reaching into this drawer where this gun is. And every time I see it, it makes me laugh because I'm like, "Did he get the gun? Did he shoot his? Did he shoot his dad?"
It wasn't intended to make you laugh.
Well, it makes me
I
laugh.
know when I was 15 or 16, my mom sent me somewhere to get something. And I looked in the wrong nightstand. My mother had 2 nightstands on each side of the bed, and I looked into the wrong nightstand for whatever it was that she sent me to get. And I found a gun next to, in her nightstand next to the bed. And so I asked my mother, I said, "Mom," I said, "why is there a gun?" I said, "Why do you have a gun?" And she goes, "Well, just in case, I'm raped, or just in case somebody tries to rape me." I said, "Mom," I said, the gun is in home in the bedroom." I said, "If anything is going to happen to you, it's going to be like while you're walking home from the bus stop, because she used to catch the bus home and she had to walk like a half a mile." I said, "That's what would happen, not likely in the house." And my mother goes, "Well, if somebody attacks me out there, I will coax them to bring me home so I can shoot them." And I said, "Mom, that's not how rape works. It's not like rape is not a crime of convenience. They're like saying, 'Hey, I'd like to rape you, but do you have a bed we could go to?' That's not how it works. It's more like, but I understand now. I understand my mother's mentality, and if you understand my mother's mentality, it makes perfect sense. But I couldn't explain that. I said, "Mom, this is not how rape works." Even though she was a rape survivor, she would know how it works or it doesn't work. But
yes, there were a couple of shootings. Now that one in DC, 6 people are shot, and none of them had serious injuries. How bad a shot do you? I mean, what are they shot?
22 to do that.
Huh?
Well,
there
22
was a mass shooting in Florida over the weekend.
Right, there was another shooting in
There
Florida.
was a mass shooting in Florida.
But now, because it said it started over an argument. Why is 6 people shot? Are you arguing with 6 people? I mean, I could see 2 guys getting into it, and one guy shoots the other guy, but you shoot everybody he's with, and no serious no serious injuries. I think no matter what, you get a bullet in you. I'm not going to say it's not a serious injury.
yeah, I feel like that qualifies.
It might not be life-threatening, but to me, it's still. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been shot, but it's fucking painful as hell, and it's serious enough that I'm going to go to the hospital no matter what. So I don't know. You tell the people who were shot, it's not serious.
Oh, like if it's a 22 3D printer gun, it may.
Yeah.
My wife and I, that's like our foreplay. We have like a small caliber weapon that we use in bed. Yeah, that's just our foreplay.
Just graze her a little bit.
Yeah, just wound her a little bit. Maybe pistol whip her a little. Just want some. Just smack that ass with the butt of the gun. Just smack that butt with the butt of the gun. Go pow, pow, pow.
Every headline about like any type of mass shooting, you should have the headline for the mass shooting, then always behind it in parentheses be, "Don't worry, we're not going to do anything about it." Then report the story.
Thoughts and prayers.
My wife made me watch something. She didn't make me. She asked me if I wanted to watch something with her, and then she picked this thing called The After. And I'm going to spoil it for anybody, so don't watch it. It's on Netflix. It's called The After, and it's this guy in London or in England somewhere, I guess, and
he starts out, he's walking with his daughter. I guess it's her birthday or something. They're dancing in the alley. She almost gets hit by a guy on a bike. He takes her to meet her mother. He's kissing her mother, and he gets a phone call from work. He goes to take the phone call while he's got his back turned. Some crazy stabber guy comes running out of nowhere, stabs the kid. The kid falls over off the building, and then the mother goes chasing after the kid and falls off the building. They both die. And the guy
Win-win.
an Uber driver, and basically he doesn't say anything after that. He's driving in the Uber, and we're listening to conversations of the people who are in his Uber, and he's driving around London. And then eventually he has this family that has a little girl that looks like his little girl. He takes them to where they're going as an Uber driver. He hasn't said a word. The little girl looks at him, and she kind of just runs up and gives him a hug. And the father of the girl sees this, and he's like, "Oh, what's going on with my little girl here? She's hugging this dude," and pulls him off. And then the guy breaks down. He just starts crying, and he's laying on the floor crying for like 3 minutes. Then he gets up in his car, for like 2 minutes. Again, doesn't say a word, puts his seatbelt on, drives away. That's the end. And I was like, what the fuck did I just watch? I mean, it was I think a half hour of that. A guy driving around in a Uber. It's called The After, and it's just showing how he broke in since his wife and kid got stabbed, and they don't have bring this up like in mass shootings. There was a mass stabbing in London, but like there was no point, there was no story here. The guy and very little dialogue. It was just hearing people bitch and moan about shit in the back seat of an Uber while he's driving around London.
Did you ever see The Crossing Guard with? I think it's called The Crossing Guard with Jack Nicholson and David Morse.
Yeah, I think Annette Bening was in that too, wasn't she?
No, Angelica Houston.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's
Sean Penn movie. It's a Sean Penn movie.
Yeah, like his son gets killed by a drunk driver or something like that.
His
right?
daughter
Yeah.
gets killed by a drunk driver.
Wow.
And
I just want to, in case anybody ever gets, somebody just sent me a Hitler Leads to Buddy Rich Big Band. No, thank you. I'm not going to watch that now.
I do have entertainment news also.
Get to that. We actually have music for entertainment news, but let's do the observers. Do we have observers in Stephen?
Yes. Give me just a second, though.
Listed here because there's a couple that I stuck out to me. Like, what the hell is that all about? I'll just say, let me steal one from you in case.
Yeah, go for it.
You don't have this on your list. It's the start of Go Diaper Free Week.
Okay. Is that for seniors or for children?
This is what I'm wondering. Go Diaper Free Week. Does that mean you just shit anywhere you want? Go.
No, you still got to do it in your pants. You just can't have a diaper.
Well, a lot of kids just walk around with their diapers, so now no diaper. It's just they're bare ass in it all around.
That's why I'm asking if it's seniors or if it's adults.
I know what you're asking.
Yeah,
same thing. A lot of adults, especially in the nursing home, just walking around in diapers.
I've never seen
hang
that.
out and shit. I'm taking a walk and shit, and so that's one. Doesn't look like Steven had that on his list.
No, that one is not on my list. No.
Hit us with your list.
Yeah, man. So International Dance Day. Heck yeah. So you can get it down with your bad selves.
Or do the Trump, jacking off 2 minute ones. Do the Trump.
Can't even do that.
I know it's you have to, yeah.
It's an acquired talent.
Yeah.
We'll cover that later. Day of Trees.
Cheese?
Arbor Day.
Oh, trees. I thought you said cheese.
No, trees. Trees would be nice though.
Now, this seems like another attempt just to prolong Earth Day. Arbor Day is just an extension of that, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, man. That's crazy.
No, Arbor Day doesn't exist anymore. It's actually Earth Day.
Well, Stephen just called. One of you guys is calling the other a liar here.
No. It's this is so International Day of Trees. So around the world, it's got different names. It says here Arbor Day, Earth Day, Day of Trees. Depends on where you're
Earth
at.
Day was a couple of weeks ago, was it not? Was it the day of the not the day of the eclipse? Was it the day? I don't know.
Apparently, it's
Earth Day was the 22nd, I believe.
This is in particular. This is Colombia, so in South America.
Oh well, they're not real people.
Oh my god!
Yeah, Arbor Day was the 20. Arbor Day was the 25th. Earth Day was the 22nd. No, so Arbor Day. I'm sorry, Arbor Day was the 26th.
That's right. Yeah,
I don't celebrate anyway.
I don't either. National Shrimp Scampi Day. That's
All
a
right.
good.
Now I'm behind 100%, even
100%.
though I don't really understand what scampi is.
I'm, to me, it just looks like pasta and shrimp. So I don't know where the scampi comes in, but maybe the chef's just wearing his apron.
I remember
I think it's a lost in translation. I think it's skimpy. I think it's shrimp skimpy, and it just got lost in translation.
I remember when I seen my first porn, and I had stolen that. The scene was so bad, and there was a guy banging his woman, and he's like, "Here's the shrimp scampi."
Wow. I don't. Oh, okay. I don't. That's.
So when you go to a restaurant and see that, do you get an erection or do you get repulsed?
It makes me laugh. It just makes me laugh.
All right, and then this one's for you folks down below the Mason-Dixon line. Today is Dale Earnhardt's birthday as well.
Oh.
Yes, sir. So why? Because Ray's Hail praise Dale. That's why.
And make sure you write on a wall today.
It's also Jerry Seinfeld's birthday as well.
Wow.
I'm 70 years old.
Is that all?
That is it. That is it. That is the last one.
I got a little more for you. Alcohol Awareness Month. Were you aware of alcohol?
I'm very much aware of it.
Oh, okay. So we can skip this month?
Now, is this rubbing alcohol or drinking alcohol?
On the 29th. What? Alcohol awareness. I guess guy must have been drunk. Alcohol Awareness Month starts April 29th. Does it end May 1st? Or to go to May 29th? I don't know about that. Alcohol Awareness Month.
I think it's rubbing alcohol.
Could be.
Canine Fitness Month, unless, of course, you're on the Gnome Ranch. And World Immunization Week, which RFQ is probably not taking part in. He's probably skipping that. And
pussies.
How do you immunize the world against a
damn it? Hang up the phone.
Trying to destroy it. Yeah, the world can't be immunized. We're here. The human virus is contaminating it. That doesn't even.
There's two that seem to be like it's National Poetry Month, but it's also Poem in Your Pocket Day. Are you guys going to be carrying a poem in your pocket?
I mean, I do have poetry on my phone, so I mean, I guess that counts.
All right. Before we go to entertainment news, give me a poem. Tell me a poem, and don't give me hickory dickory dock. Some chick was sucking my cock. Don't. That's not a poem.
Okay,
that's nursery rhyme.
One second. Let me pull up the poem book here. Okay.
Would you like me to do a poem? I could do a poem.
You can if you like.
All right.
Oh, here we go. Right here.
All right.
This is by Bo Burnham.
Bo Burnham.
Yes.
Wait, ask GD if he knows who Bo Burnham is.
GD, are you aware of who Bo Burnham is?
He's a poet.
Well, he's actually a comedian, producer, director, and poet. Yes.
See, I was right. He's a poet.
He wrote a poem. Anybody who wrote a poem at any time in their life is a poet. Yes.
Actually, he has a whole poetry book out. So, yes.
Yeah. You would like Bo Burnham, GD. You would like him.
Yeah.
Don't tell me who I would like. Don't do that. Don't tell me, because I am automatically start not liking him when people tell me who I would like.
So this is an ode. This is an ode to fucking sluts by Bo Burnham. Sluts. I fuck sluts. Sluts get fucked when I fuck sluts. No ifs, ands, or buts. I fuck sluts. I fuck sluts. Nice girls are nice, but no good for nut sucking. They'll need a serene night to greenlight a butt fucking. But that'll be easy with sleazy old slut fucking. Boo to the nice girls. Praise be to slut fucking.
Wow. That's some poem.
Beautiful, right? If that doesn't speak to the soul.
All right. Well,
Nothing
it's
does.
time now for entertainment news. Let me just...
I have a poem.
Wait, you got a poem?
Sure.
Let's hear it.
All right.
All right, let's see here. Now, actually, this poem is from 2019. It's a birthday card poem I wrote for my daughter-in-law. Yeah. Gobbles the hamster has a big heart and an even bigger appetite. You can't leave your cake out or he'll eat every crumb in sight. But he's very careful when he sneaks out because he knows about cats. He's not too keen on musicals and they think that he's a rat. But Gobbles is not a snitch. He swears he never told a soul. And if someone is spilling secrets, he thinks the cat's a mole. At any rate, the secret's out, and it didn't take Scully or Mulder to uncover the fact we're so happy that you were another year older.
Aw.
Well, Mulder doesn't really rhyme with older.
You know something?
But
let's see you write a poem for every member of the family for their fucking birthday and see how you run out of rhymes.
But,
Hey, if Eminem can write boring and orange, he can
now,
rhyme older and Mulder.
We were talking about hamster, gerbil. What was it?
I have to look again. I don't know. I just closed it up.
Because
he's a hamster, I think.
Between a hamster and a gerbil, depending on what cavity you want to stick them in, right?
I think it's a hamster.
All right.
I didn't close that poem already.
Anal cavity rodent.
But I have hundreds of poems in my computer because I write for my wife's side of the family. I write like a poem for each member of the family for their birthday.
That explains a lot. Okay, it's time for entertainment news.
I got to do this one here for her son.
I'm not even hearing entertainment news. You guys hearing it?
It's very low.
Yeah, I can hear it. Can you hear me? Show business, everybody. All right, this week in show business over the weekend, Taylor Swift, her Tortured Poets department.
Turn the music down some more. I can barely hear Ron.
Music down a little. How's that? Is that better?
Better.
Okay. So Taylor Swift, Tortured Poets department, #1 album selling 2.6 million physical copies in 1 week, which is insane. And the next number here, she sold almost 900,000 vinyl albums also. Then her streams for the week are 891 million official streams. Just shy of 1 billion.
Wow.
So
man.
Yeah, she's like unstoppable, and
Swifties are on fire.
Yeah.
Remind me to ask about that after the entertainment news is over. I want to talk about music, music stars and all that stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Gotcha.
So she's the woman right now, so bow to her.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Now this one is somewhat entertainment, but somewhat sports. There's a deli worker by the name of Dylan Beard, and he's competing for a spot on the Olympic team for a hurdler. And his day job is he works at a Walmart deli, and he's still working at a Walmart deli. He recently got back from a race where he's the 3rd fastest man in the world at hurdling, and you can get him to cut your bologna for you still.
Bologna, not bologna.
Bologna.
Yeah,
that's what happens when you can't get your face on the Wheaties box.
Exactly. And he's paying
a bologna roll to the face.
This is my favorite part of this story. It's like he's paying his own way, and then everyone around him is like, "Yeah, he's got a great work ethic." But luckily, Walmart stepped up, and they broke him off a $20,000 check to help him and his family, get through the trials and things like that. So, good luck to that guy. Hopefully, he makes it. But I put that in there because that kind of resonates with any type of performer where you have a day job and yet you are performing, and you could be doing well, but yet you still have a day job. It happens, everybody. It happens.
Everybody. If we're being honest, there would be 8 billion comedians on the planet. I'd say 7 billion, 7.5 billion of them still have day jobs.
Yeah, for sure. The next piece of news here: Nightmare on Elm Street is being remade with Millie Bobby Brown, apparently from Stranger Things.
Wow.
And the big question I have for you guys is, who cares? Why does everyone want this made?
Yeah.
Will you be going this?
I don't care. If my answer is I don't care. That's my
I
final
don't
answer.
give a shit.
Yeah.
It's just.
Let's see. Movie-wise, Challengers open this weekend, and they take the top spot.
Is that the one about the space shuttle that exploded? Is that what that one's about?
No, but do better, GD. Do better.
Is that like a 2-minute movie?
So it's #1 movie, and according to, there's an article in the New York Times this weekend saying Hollywood is back, baby. It's embracing sex again. So we shall see. Will this movie make more sexy movies? I don't know, but I'm all here for it. That's your showbiz news, everybody.
Showbiz news. Well, thank you for that, Ron. Now, the Taylor Swift thing was the lead story there. Is there anybody else in music who's a big star right now? I mean,
Beyonce is killing it in country right now. She's the #1 country artist.
That's funny.
No, I wish it was a joke. It's not.
I know.
It's
I know.
not. It's just,
but like, Beyonce is a 20-year veteran, probably even more, right? 30 years. I mean,
yeah.
The other group.
It's Destiny's Child.
Destiny's Child. That was like from the early 90s, right? So she's been around 30 years now. She's an old woman. But I mean, the people at the young, I don't know, Taylor Swift, I think she's more like the MILF age people. Like, who are the kids? Who are the kids loving these days? Who are the Beatles for the young people of today?
JoJo Siwa, all the kids that are like K-pop kids that are big right now. Yeah,
it's Taylor Swift's world, and like Beyonce is kind of there, but it's Taylor's world right now. It's all her.
Taylor Swift's just taking it all for herself and not leaving crumbs for anybody.
Yeah, I mean that's insane that she had almost 1 billion streams in 1 week, and be able to move almost 900,000 vinyl albums, then 2.6 million. It's just crazy.
I bet vinyls haven't moved like that since the 70s.
No,
yeah, I would say so. Now, I'm wondering, all those people have vinyl players?
Yeah, you can get them at Walmart for $20.
Yeah,
I still have mine from years ago. I just when I moved, I packed it up because I didn't have a place to put it. But I haven't unloaded it. It's still in my downstairs room where all my overflow audio equipment is.
Her audience is worldwide, right? I mean, so
I think they're mostly Tennessee. I think it's almost all Tennessee.
What?
I was gonna say they're almost all Tennessee. I just couldn't think of another state off the top of my head.
Not 1 billion people. If everybody in Tennessee left their streamer on all day long, it wouldn't come to almost 1 billion people.
I think it would, but we're gonna agree to disagree.
Well, she's huge in the U.S. She's huge in Asia. She's huge in the U.K. Those are the 3 major populaces. She's also huge in Saudi Arabia.
Is she huge?
No.
I mean, really, you look at her size. I think she's like a 3, and then she has no butt at all. I don't think she's
small
huge.
for me. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, she needs to eat a sandwich.
I would see. Now we can agree to agree on that.
She's got young women. She's got middle-aged women. She's got older women. She's
got Dylan Brody, who is 60 years old yesterday.
He was. Yeah, I reached out to him and wished him a happy annual. No, it wasn't yesterday. Was it? Was the day before yesterday?
No, it was the day before. Yeah. Or
yeah.
I don't
know. It was a little while ago because it took him like 3 days. It took him like 2 or 3 days to get back to me.
And do you know too? This is just a little fun fact too, that like the Republican Party is afraid of Taylor Swift.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
I love that. That's funny.
I don't.
Yeah.
Afraid of that.
They're afraid that she'll say vote for Biden, and
Hey,
her Swifties will do it.
But here's if we're gonna go back into politics, this is the thing that I am. I did a piece on Jimmy Carter yesterday, and not on his presidency, but on him as a man, because I think he is a man among men and somebody who's a real role model for humanity. But it strikes me that Biden is like Jimmy Carter was at this point in 1980, where the polls are all saying he's losing or tied to a guy who's in court for everything, including an insurrection, and he's tied or losing in all these polls, and doesn't seem to be really all that upset about it or trying to campaign at all. I mean, he did the White House Correspondents' Dinner and kind of took it lightly, as people, the guy who was hosting it, that Josh, whatever his name is, Colin Jost.
Colin Jost.
Making jokes about they're tied. They're not tied. Well, it depends on whose poll you're looking at. But if you look at CNN's poll, they got Trump up ahead by 8 points. And Biden doesn't even seem like he's not even concerned about it. Like,
and not that he's not concerned. It's like, first of all, he understands. He's been in politics a very long time. And they probably have their own internal polling, which usually differs somewhat from national polls. That their pollsters probably show them a different picture, and they probably are playing, like I said, they're playing a long game because he is campaigning. I mean, he was just in Florida a couple days ago, and
hard with the real important messages, because people do see, like, Mike
tailoring his messages to the audience.
Snapshot of at least this portion of America, and he doesn't care about any. He's talking about inflation is a big issue with him. Prices, the border, all those kind of things. And Biden's not getting his message out, or doesn't even seem to have like any urgency on setting the record straight on these issues at all, and telling people about any of this stuff. He just, to me, seems very nonchalant about.
Did you listen to the Howard Stern interview?
I tried to. I fell asleep listening to
Okay.
it. I mean, he really is pretty low energy. I will debate him. I mean, it wasn't. You listened to that in full?
I don't listen to Howard Stern, but then again, I don't need to listen to every single thing to
You just asked me if I listened to it like that was
because of the way you're portraying it. Like, because you're saying that he's not campaigning, he's not talking about the issues. So I'm just wondering how often do you actually
know. I can surmise the Howard Stern stuff. Howard was saying all the accomplishments and kissing Biden's ass, and like, yeah. That was Biden's contribution to the discussion.
That's why I don't. He's just not gonna. Man, those debates are not gonna be good for him. I just don't see it.
But yeah, I'm not. It's not the portrayal.
No, you're gonna have Biden's gonna be the elderly man, and all you're gonna listen to Trump do is
right.
That's it. I mean, like one elderly man is the one that kind of just stays home and kind of hangs out, and the other elderly man, Slump, is the one that you have to lock up because it's like, oh look, Grandpa's loose naked in the neighborhood again because he lost his marbles.
He's the one you can't take to like the high school football games.
What I think,
and then you'd have to worry about him dumping his urine cup all over himself again. Like, oh, this reminds me of these.
Completely ignored, because you just said two elderly men, and it really is three elderly men. But
I don't think you should be calling Michelle Williams an elderly man. That's not right. That's not nice.
You're completely ignoring RFQ, like he's not part of it. And I think that's.
I'm not ignoring him. I just
Ron who just said it's two elderly men.
I think he'll be out by summer. I really do.
He'll be out. I don't think.
And it'll probably happen quietly, and I bet it'll come from the inside. like someone in his family will have a talk with him. I bet.
Like the one who shot Kennedy, the one who the actual Kennedy shooter.
They'll pull him aside and to say, "Hey, dummy, shut the fuck up and sit down."
I don't know if it's going to come from the family, but I don't think he'll be out by
You made
August.
clear that you believe that's going to happen. I don't think so. I think he really wants it. I think he really and truly believes it, that he has a shot in this. And I follow enough people and friends.
He may, but I think that family pressure, someone in that family is going to set him aside. Like, all right, come on, it's like let it go.
Well, I have said that his stuff about the Secret Service was overblown because I don't think the Secret Service has ever been all that good at protecting people anyway, and his family is probably
proof of that.
Part of my feeling for that. But I think now that Trump has come out and started attacking him, I think it really is time to give him some Secret Service protection.
Yeah.
Listen,
Well,
people that ignored RFK, now Trump's telling him those people he's a threat. When I say those people, I mean the fringe, the Charlottesville people. They see once they hear Kennedy's a threat and Trump is telling them he's a threat, there's likely to be somebody to try something. So I do.
But
think
one of Trump's billionaires is actually still giving him money. Still giving Kennedy money. So I don't think unless they're going to stop giving him money. I mean, part of Kennedy's campaign is being subsidized by the Trump campaign.
Yeah, well, he denies that completely, but yeah, that's
he can deny it, but the filings show different.
Also, Steve Bannon was the one I think who convinced him to run.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the case here. I am my earphones this morning. My headphones are a little bit weird here. Oh, look at that.
So you try removing your finger.
Huh?
Oh, there you go. No, that's if you try removing your finger, you're doing, yeah.
No, I'm actually that is the only way I can really hear is hold this thing really close.
Stick your finger in your ear and go tingling.
Feel the vibrations of the sound. That's what, because I can't hear.
That's like the old bone phones.
Hello, yeah. Gary Owens for laughing. Oh, that's way before you.
You remember the bone phone back in the 80s? I think it's mid 80s.
Yeah.
The bone phones were speakers. This is like shortly after the Walkman came out with the headset. Bone phones were designed for joggers, and that way your ears would be free, but the sound would pulsate into your neck, and you actually could hear it through your body.
This comment is just really Howard Stern is a Howard Stern doesn't like Trump, and so the Trump people don't like Howard Stern anymore. Howard Stern is not, in that respect, he's not any different than he ever was. He was always about money and ratings and all that stuff, but he's been pretty much a lifelong Democrat, except for the fact that he backed George Pataki as governor in New York because he basically wrote Pataki's platform in the early 90s about having construction crews work at night, which we've heard from Jackie Martling that was Jackie's idea, not Howard's. But it seems to be a terrible idea. If you've ever been in New York and come across construction crews working at night and shutting down the major highways in the middle of the night, like you can't work at night. No matter how many lights you have, you spend all this time sending up lights and cones and stuff, and before you know it, it's daybreak. And like you got nothing done. Okay, pick up the cones and shut off the lights and start again tomorrow. So that was a bad. But for the most part, Howard Stern has always been a Democrat. To say he's a sellout, what did he sell out to? Himself, because that's who he's always been. So, he's always been a germaphobe. The stuff with the vaccine is not surprising that that's who he is. I mean, what sellout? He doesn't like your guy. I don't like him. He don't like my guy.
Yeah, and that's a problem with people across the board. Like, no one wants to have any fun anymore. Like, you put up a post, then you get some guy like that, like, this person's a sellout. It's like, I get it. You're angry. Things didn't turn out your way, and you can't say the N word with the hard R like you want to, like my family loves to. You know, that's you got to move on with your life. You got to do things. I get it.
That's why I like hanging out with Ron's family, because they let me know what they think of me right off the bat. They don't hide it. They don't hide
Yeah,
it.
they don't hide it at all.
I had
No,
a
they don't hide
conversation
it.
with a guy who was a full-blooded Hopi Indian, Hopi, and he was talking about this was just Saturday when I was talking to him. He's talking about the difference between how Black people are treated and Native Americans are treated. He said, "Can you imagine if the song 10 Little Indians was 10 Little N-words?" uh the outrage that we would, and he was talking about, people think nothing, oh, one little, two little, three little idiots, like, oh, you know how offensive that is to my people. It's like, imagine if that was he said, if it were 10 little N-words, people would have shut that down long ago. But
The problem is that because of the meter Indians and the N word, you have to really stretch it. You have to add like another G in the middle. So you have the same meter.
Mike wants me to stop trying to label him. Or so you're not a Trumper? What?
I think he was talking to referring to Ron, because I think Ron had mentioned some.
Yeah, well, a lot of people get upset that I refer to January 6th as the day of sad whites, but it was the day of sad whites, and
Pretty embarrassing. Yeah.
I see. And I don't think all of it.
And
I think in their defense, I think some were angry and some were crazy, not just sad.
Well,
yeah.
I wasn't just talking about Chivola there with the Stern to sellout. Everybody on Twitter who is a MAGA person was attacking Howard Stern over the weekend with the same kind of comments. So he's all washed up. Again, that washed up stuff just cracks me up. The guy makes $30 million for working 3 days a week from home and can talk to the most influential people on the planet, and you calling him a washed up broadcaster when you have 129 followers on Twitter.
I'm still trying to make my first 30 million.
Yeah. So
yeah, I'm still on my first 30 million as well.
And listen, I'm not here to defend Howard Stern. I think Howard Stern as a person, I've always thought he's a piece of shit as a person, therapy or not. He's just he's a very selfish guy. He doesn't took care of Robin Quivers, but didn't take care of any of the other people around him who made him very, very rich. And he's always, been just a selfish punk.
It's funny, in Maryland, Howard Stern was, we used to have, before Howard Stern, we used to have a syndicated shock jock named Grease Manelli. That was his handle. And
he was a Stern fan before he was able to understand politics. Did that happen this morning? You understanding politics? Because you said on
that excuse is like when someone says, "Oh, the mainstream media is always lying," but then they'll just get their news from like Newsmax or Twitter or something like that. So you only like news that sounds good to you.
You don't know politics. Politics comes out of policies. That's so to say. Before I understood politics, but I don't read policies. I don't.
Whoa! Are you sure? Because I think the Latin of politics is, when you translate, it means multiple parasites.
Right.
Or multiple facial, spasms. Multiple spasms.
There is a great Daniel Tosh joke where he talks about like football players and how people always complain that a football player stays too long. Then he's like, "Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to be a backup quarterback, so I'm going to make $10 million a year. Oh, sign me up." Then, then you can't play backup anymore, so they sign you to the practice squad. Oh, wait, you don't have to play, and you get paid about $1 million a year. Sign me up for that. I'd never leave.
Forever and ever. I would not quit that job until they forced me out. Why not?
Yeah.
I can carry a clipboard. I can carry a clipboard just as well as anybody. And I can spout plays as well as anybody. I can't run them, but that would be why I'm not a starter.
The only downside of that is even in practice, I think you're going to take a few beatings now and then, concussions and stuff like that. But for $1 million,
I've got 12 concussions anyway, and I'm not a millionaire.
To me anyway.
It's only a
I've already received 12 concussions, and I'm not a millionaire. I can take 1 or 2 more for $1 million.
It won't change much for him.
I should say goodbye to. Let's see who that goes before GD wants to just kind of make it into racial epithet coffee here.
Yeah, I can hear the N bombs coming in.
Gus Constant, tell us Friday night. Is he? You guys know him?
Who is it?
Lisa Marie is at Smithtown Performing Arts Center, a special event on May 5th. What is May 5th? Is that a Sunday? That's a Sunday. That's this Sunday coming up, right? Kicks and Giggles in the Giggle Room, which is Saturday night. Sunday Night Funnies in the Giggle Room. I don't know any of this stuff. Let's look at the other locations. That's the Levittown. Let's look at Bohemia. All-Star Comedy Show. I guess to Ron's point before, it does seem to be comedy club, at least on Long Island, business seems to be slowing down. I mean, May 3rd and 4th, Jim Mendrinos. I don't know. Chris Roach is coming in next week. I know him. Wow. One more location here. The Brokerage in Belmore. Let's see. Jim Dalekis. I don't know him. I'm sorry, Govs. I'm trying to do my best to promote you. I don't know these people. And I feel like GD here. Who's that? Welly Jackson is coming in next week. I don't know these people. So maybe things.
I bet you y'all have like 150,000 followers on TikTok each.